So I'm delighted this afternoon to be joined by Claire and Steve. So I know it says Claire. I'm not sure I can add two names onto the video. I'm sure I can actually. Can't be too hard. Claire and Steve. Um, Look, huge thanks. So Claire, I know you've been working with Steve a lot in the last year. You met at Kensington Pin. So I just wanted to focus literally on 2018 and what it means for you, Claire, and also Steve, and going forward um, into 2018, what projects you've got lined up, and just give a short synopsis of what you've been doing as well. And Steve, I'm sure that could take 45 minutes. So, Claire, do you want to start in terms of what you've been doing? And that could take a little while as well, but in a nutshell, what would
In
you say?
very short version, yeah. I mean, I've been a property investor really for the last 4 years, seriously buying for clients in London. Really, so we've been buying investment properties and then doing refurbs to add value. So I've been really immersed in the London market and immersed in the investment side, but not development so much. And I think there's been a lot of changes to, if you're a landlord, the environment just isn't so attractive anymore. So I've been looking at changing my strategy. And obviously, as you said, I met Steve at Kensington Pin. It was actually last June.
Last June, yeah.
And we since started working together. And initially, Steve was going to mentor me, which he still is really, because he's got sort of 20 plus years in development. But we've really become more like business partners, and we're now working on a number of projects in Plymouth. And that's really what's going to take up our time this year. A couple of very big ones.
Steve, so your background's in development or in the last 20 years, have I got that right?
Yeah, I mean, 30 seconds, and I'll keep it to 30 if you like. But 20 years ago, I was fortunate, and I won't bore you with the story, to have an opportunity to start working in my own company as a developer. They were the good years when there was a rising market. Anyone remembers 97 to about 2000. And we made a load of money. And at the age of 34, I decided I had enough, and why did I need to bother working again? So I went to retire in the Alps. But hey ho, life changed, and after a few amazing years over there, retired, as well as getting a little bit bored. A very expensive divorce meant I had to come back and start again. So basically, I've been back in the country for 18 months and applying the same methods that I've done for the last 20 years.
And Steve, what's your goals in a nutshell in 2018 as well?
My business goals, I've got two real main focuses this year. The first one is to continue our company growth with Claire, the company that we've created, and there's 5 of us in the company, Creative Asset Management. And we're really excited about that because in the depths of Cornwall and Devon, we're starting to make noises, and we are looking to increase our portfolio of development sites to about 10 million. Which for you London guys may not sound very much, but for down here is pretty big. So that's the first objective. The second one is following my time out of the country, really. I've realised that a lot of people want to get into development, but find it very expensive to get into it, Brendan. And so, you've probably seen me, I've been promoting my course. I'm not going to try and do that now, but my focus is to try and encourage as many people as I can to get into development, because we all know the government are saying there's a huge shortage of stock.
That's an online course, is that right, Steve?
Yeah, it's online because I want my main business and focus to be development. But hey ho, what I can do is share all of my knowledge and put on a in-depth course, which is what I've tried to do.
Okay, so for people to reach out to you, Steve, is it Steve Colley? What's the easiest way on?
No, well, they can reach out to me on Facebook or LinkedIn, and that's not a problem. I'm always trying to get back to people because sometimes people want a bit of guidance. But the course itself is property development online, nice and easy.
We were discussing, myself and Claire, before we went live, or went recorded anyway, about the book. Is it Life Leverage?
Life Leverage, yeah.
Life Leverage by Rob Moore, who, fascinating some of the interviews he has had. I know the book isn't about the interviews he's had necessarily. I have to admit I haven't read the book, but I do listen to his podcast series quite a bit. Do listen to his videos as well, with the likes of John Barnes recently did a interview. What do you like about the book, Claire?
I just like the way it's got really practical advice for making your business as sort of honed and toned as it can be. And I think having read it, we've all realised that there's a lot we can tighten up. And, we're very early on in our journey, but I think it's very much like deciding where our key result areas are, where is our time going to be best spent, and what we need to outsource to other people, that actually that's not the best use of our time. And it's really been a good way of working that out, hasn't it, Steve?
Yeah.
We're going to have a big team meeting tomorrow where we hammer out the details of this. But the book just gives this amazingly easy to follow structure for doing that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's outsourcing is very easily said, but a lot of people find it hard to do. And so our focus this year is to get smarter. We think we're smart, but we're still running around working sometimes 18-hour days, and just to try and work a way of leveraging our time.
Steve, you're a prolific athlete from what I remember reading about 6 months ago. So
an extreme athlete, aren't you?
Guys, can we not get over the top? I think used to be is probably the phrase.
Okay, but has that helped you in your journey, and if so, how?
It's a really good question, actually, because I don't really talk about it to other people, but many times I'll look at what I'm doing in my business, and I'll make the comparison in my head. Effectively, when you say, top athlete, no, but I was extreme in that I was training 15 to 25 hours a week, triathlons, 100K runs in the mountains, some crazy stuff. But you know what? Business is about endurance, and I know it sounds a bit corny, but it really, really is. And the biggest comparison I'll make is that the times when I was in my races, and sometimes they're going to be bike races too, sometimes they would last up to 24 hours, and I know some people can't comprehend that. And you went through all sorts of pain barriers, times when you felt absolutely like giving up. And again, that does sound really corny, but it's so true, because when you look at business, you're saying, you know what, I felt more pain than this. And so it's helped me get through, Brendan. It's a really good question.
So look, we're going to expand on this at some point, Steve, when you come down to London, whether it's for the bike ride or whether you're going to take the more comfortable train journey. Look, Claire, who are you looking most forward to listening to or networking with on Saturday, this coming Saturday, at the National Development Summit?
That's interesting. I mean, there's so many people in the property community whose names are really familiar to me, but I've seen their faces and I've read about them, but I've not met them. So I really want to meet as many people as possible. But I'm really interested to hear Sarah Nasrallah talk about networking, because I know she's so phenomenal at doing that. I want to hear Nicole Bremner, because she always, she's got so many good content to share. And Carolina Adamczyk, who is she talking?
No, Carolina will be there though.
She'll be there. Okay, because we're going to be working with her on the project that we've just got starting. So it's just that thing of who in the room can we be collaborating with, because there will be people there who we haven't met yet. So I want to connect and see what partnerships are there and possible for us.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, Brendan, I know you hear this a lot, but a lot of people don't believe it, is that anything that we've achieved in our business has come through networking. And people sometimes, well, I'll say a lot of people really do, either they think just by turning up to these events is good enough. Well, obviously you've got an exceptional weekend, and that probably is true this weekend. But Claire emphasised the fact that it's not just about the speakers, it's about the people that are going to be there and the networking and focusing on what you want in your business and making sure you go and get it at these sort of events. And can I say, I am so unhappy that I can't make it this weekend, because Sophie's been away a month and I've not seen her, so I promised her the weekend.